afternoon, everybody. My name is Sally. I'm graduated in mass communication. It was a different experience to work as a teacher. I thought that teaching will be something easy and controlling the kids something I can do. But when I entered the class for the first time, I was shocked. The kids were so hyperactive that I spent most of my first day shouting at them, trying to control the class, and I couldn't wait to get home. There, thinking about what had just happened in the class, I remembered the dice of peace that a friend had proposed to try as a way of educating peace at school. Instantly, I decided to be the first to leave the rules of the dice before starting it with the kids. So, the next day, I entered the class with a full smile on my face, and in my heart, I decided that I would truly love each one of the kids despite everything. During all day, I tried to do everything with love, speaking, listening, helping, and explaining the lesson. And what a surprise to see them as quiet as I never have seen them before. They were all concentrating and no side talks. The roll of the dice made me understand that truly, when you give love without expecting anything, you will receive it back again and even doubled. Later on, after practicing the dice of peace, also with the kids, I started to notice a huge change in their attitudes. The fights about small things like taking a pencil or something became a chance and an opportunity to loving one another. I saw girls sharing their snacks in the break and boys just reminding each other about the dice of peace in the class. For example, when two boys forgot their books, a boy behind them gave them his book, telling them to love one another. So the dice of peace has its effect not only on my class, but also on the teachers. When they saw the great change in the attitude of my kids, they started to ask me, is that because of the dice of peace? And yes, I said. So they too decided to apply the dice of peace in their classes for the rest of the school year. Thank you.
I am Nur Muhammad. I am 8 years old. The Dice of Peace is helping us very much to be more friends and to learn to study together, but also to be better at home. One day, Jana was sad as she had finished her sandwiches and she got no money to buy any more food. The rule of the day was to love everybody, so Mariam decided to share with her one of her sandwiches, and they were very happy. At home, I saw my mom a little bit tired, and I was playing, so I remembered the dice of peace, and the rule of the day to love one another. So I went to the kitchen and washed the dishes for my mom, and thank you.
I am Abdurrahman. I am 7 years old. One day, the rule of the day was be the first love. So I decided to give biscuits to my friends in class on my teacher's birthday. And at the end, I got only one left. But I was so happy to make all my friends and my teacher smile on that day. Another day, me and my friend Muhammad fought together in the class. It was my fault. So the teacher decided to punish us as we hit each other. But when we looked at the board, we saw the rule to forgive one another. So we decided to say sorry one to the other. And when the teacher saw this, she forgave us too, and we weren't punished. We were very happy because the peace was again in our heart and in our class. Thank you.
As the Italian International School Leonardo da Vinci in Cairo, we are really pleased to take part in the Peace Festival 2014. On behalf of all the staff and all our pupils, we greet you all. Our pupils this year showed us that they really understand how important peace is in everyone's life. Using all their creativity, they wrote poems, short stories, they designed drawings, PowerPoints about peace during the year. But the very interesting thing which captured their attention was the dice of peace. They all made one for themselves and were throwing it with great joy and enthusiasm. As they started to put into practice the sentences on the dice, they soon experienced the joy of making an act of peace at home or at school. Of course, the challenge for all of us, was to remember the rules of peace during each day, and especially at difficult moments, when, for example, a classmate was disturbing us or a friend had a bad attitude. During my lessons, I always try to encourage both myself and my pupils in keeping on with our commitment for peace and in starting again after each setback. To help one another, we started a competition in coloring a puzzle representing the world. Each time it happened to us to live according to the dice. This way we could check our attitude more often and share our experiences. For me, as I was coloring each piece of the puzzle, I too tried to make an act of peace by listening intently to pupils or in being prepared to change my program in order to meet their desires. On one occasion, I had to reprimand a pupil because of his attitude. I wanted to live for peace in this situation too. So I looked for him and I spoke with him, and at that moment I felt our good relation were not compromised. With the participation of teacher and the director, we had a good experience throughout these months. This project involved all of us. Each one gave his or her own contribution to the project, despite it required extra time and energy. Moreover, with teamwork and effort, we took decisions together which helped us to develop a more cooperative attitude between us. Up to now, it's really difficult for us to say who the project representative in our school is. We decided together what we would present at the festival and also changed our minds in order to listen to the suggestions of our pupils. We were also very fortunate that our older students who had participated in the Peace Project last year were able to offer their help and advice and supported the younger ones by their example and encouragement. By the end of this scholastic year, we realized that we will have become more receptive to the quality of our relation in our school, with pupils, between teachers and the director, and with parents. We know that we are at the beginning and that there is still a long way we have to go, but we are here today to encourage each other and to state that it's worth the effort to build a fragment of peace where we are.
My name is Mrs. Dalia and I'm the English teacher for grade 3. The Living Peace Project played an important role in my life as a teacher. From the beginning of the year, I understood that if I want to apply this educational project in my class, I must be the first to live according to the rules of the Dice of Peace. We ruled every morning, so I was the first to love, the first to listen, to forgive, to create a peaceful atmosphere in class. Application was not easy at the beginning, taking into consideration my long experience, established system and the students' different characters. Now living peace required a great change on many aspects. My attitude in class, listening more to the students, trying to understand their reactions, supporting much their weakness. Trying to be the first to set an example made me understand that I have to love them without expecting anything in return. Just love them with all my heart. Working as their teacher is the best way I can. I also apologize to them when I did mistakes. Living peace also required that I change from the academic point of view, searching for a new way of teaching, trying to create new techniques, emphasizing the teamwork, highlighting the values of solidarity and fraternity among the students, and also to confront and evaluate my work with the other teachers. As for the students this year, I saw by my own eyes how they did change with every rule we apply in the class. They were eager to throw the dice every morning and apply the rule on themselves before anybody else.
My name is Ahmed Hassan. I am in grade 3. In our class, we welcomed a new student. She was so afraid because she didn't know anybody and was so shy. Our teacher was totally surprised when she saw us talking nicely to her, helping her with her studies, and we were so friendly and caring. When Mrs. Dalia talked about the dice rules, we explained to her that we did apply it with our newcomer, who became our friend.
My name is Ahmed. I am in grade 3. Mustafa, a boy in our class, broke his arm, and it was his right arm, so he couldn't write for almost 3 weeks. And the dice of peace of every morning helped us in class to support him in everything, getting his books out of his bag, writing in his copybook after we wrote in our own copybook. We worried that Mustafa would be alone during the break time, and so we got him his sandwich out of his lunchbox and wrote him his home.
My name is Mustafa Ibrahim. I'm in grade 3. In few days, a wave of love spread in our class, creating an atmosphere of love and peace. After a few months of practicing the Live in Peace project, we realized that it is much more beautiful to learn in this nice atmosphere. Now we can concentrate much more on the subject we learn, gaining much more profits.
With our students, we know that these rules are not only able to be applied during our time at school, but during all our lives. In fact, this simple practice of the dice of peace had transformed my life as a teacher and as a mother. For us teachers and students, it is already a way to build a new culture, a culture of peace. Thank you.